Hello, students. How are you all? Hope you're all fine. So, today we are going to begin with the next topic, Unit 4.2, the story of Gautama's quest. Now, see, everybody in his or her life is in the quest of something, is in search of something. So, even in this also story, we are going to see that how how this story of Gautama's quest, that is the Gautama's search for the truth, was he successful or not? So this lesson throws light on the Gautama's journey in the quest of the truth of the life, the journey of which begins with the question, what is the cause of sorrow? And the quest ends when he finds the answer that the root cause of all the sorrows is desire. The cure for all sorrows is to give up all the desires and adopt right way of living. So let us see what is stored in for us. Now in this story of Gautama's quest, first of all, remove your textbook, page number 83. Now, this lesson or the story narrates the journey from his birth 2500 years ago till the time he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. He was a son of Subodhana, and Gautama would either be a great emperor or a reigning sage who would bring comforts to many, thousands of the souls. This was prophesied at his birth. That is a future prediction about a person. So it was prophesied for him. And despite of this best efforts of the king, usually, usually what happens now, whatever is being was being predicted long early back now, it was really it was true. So here, despite of the best efforts of the king, eventually the prophecy came true when Gautama witnessed the four signs, that is, witness to the impermanence of the world. He renounced the comforts of the palace, the worldly life, and he left his wife Yashodhara and son Rahul and set out on a journey in the quest of truth of life. And the lesson goes on to narrate the severe hardships which Gautama underwent for 6 years, and he displayed immense willpower. He hardly ate a grain of rice but refused to give up until he attained enlightenment. Along the way, Gautama saw a vision. It changed his approach. He then decided to follow the middle path and stopped torturing his body to starvation. As he accepted the offering of milk and the rice from Sujata, he felt refreshed and infused with the strength. He realized that making the body suffer was not the way to enlightenment and truth. Gautama's long wait and the quest for truth ended when that night he found the answer to his question. The cause of sorrow was desire, the urge to possess. The cure for the same was to give up all the desires and adopt right living. A circle was complete. Born under a tree, Buddha received illumination also under a tree venerated, venerated even today. So still that tree is there. So let us move ahead with the topic. Now Gautama, the Buddha was born under the over 2500 years ago as a prince Siddhartha. When he was born, his name was Prince Siddhartha. He was king. He was son of a king, Raja Subodhana, He was born on the sacred day of Vaishakha Purnima at Lumbini, situated near the city of Kapilavastu. 7 days after his birth, his mother Maya Devi passed away. As soon as he was born, his mother Maya Devi passed away. It was prophesied at his birth that the infant would grow to be either a great Chakravarti, an emperor, or a sannyasi, a renunciate who would bring comfort to thousands of lost souls. The king was determined to prevent his beloved son from renouncing the world. He surrounded the prince with every imaginable luxury and comfort. It is said that the king had three magnificent palaces, one for each season of the year, and in the beautiful atmosphere of these royal mansions, Prince Siddhartha lived his secluded, protected life. So he had all whatever he wanted. That means he had the three magnificent palaces, and whatever he liked, he ate, and he was enjoying his secluded life. He used to live alone, but he used to really enjoy his life. In in a good time, the prince was married to one of the most beautiful girls of the realm. That means at that time she was the most beautiful girl, Princess Yashodhara, the daughter of the Kolian king. Soon a son Rahul was born to them. At the age of 29, Siddhartha went out to see the kingdom and to meet his subject. So he was married to a beautiful girl, okay, and she was a daughter of the king Kolian. And afterwards, he had born a son also, Rahul. And at the age of 29, Siddhartha went out to see his kingdom and to meet his subjects. He beheld what the Buddhist books call the four signs, witness to the impermanence of the world. He saw an old man, he saw a diseased man, he saw a dead man, and a monk. And there entered into his heart the vision of dukkha, the world sorrow. What is the way out to the world sorrow? He asked himself repeatedly. The unanswerable question led him to renounce a worldly life, leave his wife and son, and set out in the quest of truth of life. So, as you can see, he was very happy with his son Rahul and the wife, and he really was enjoying his life. But when once he went out to see the kingdom, he found that the world was really an impermanent place to live. And there he found the four signs which led him to leave the world and move ahead in his life to find out what is the reality of life. So he went out, and, and while moving through this kingdom, he saw an old man, and he started wondering that what is this? And in the second sight, he saw that there was a man who was suffering some kind of a disease. And then he saw a man who was dead. And the fourth one also, he saw that there was a monk. And the story of the Gautama's quest that ends in the illumination and attainment of nirvana is one of the most moving tales of our times. For 6 years did Gautama practice intense asceticism. Now, intense asceticism, now anything done. Now, intense is severe, and asceticism is avoiding pleasures of life and leading a simple life for religious purpose. And for several days, now see, here it is for 6 years continuously, yeah, he was practicing this, and for several days in succession, he ate barely a grain, that means hardly he ate, and now As the year word, it is succession means one after the another. He ate barely a grain of rice, and his strong athletic body was reduced to the bag of bones. Now, athletic body means, see, earlier how he was strong and he was healthy, but now it had been reduced to bag of bones, but it served no purpose. The Buddha then scattered a handful of grass on the ground beneath the Bodhi tree and formed a seat for himself. I care not if of my skin and nerves and bones decay, he thought. I care not if my life blood dries. I shall not give up until I attain the enlightenment. What divine willpower in these words, and what may not a man achieve if he would wake up his willpower? That means when when you have made up your mind, that means when your willpower, see, your willpower plays a very prominent role in your life. So if you have the strong willpower that yes, I can do, definitely in the life you can achieve success. It is said that he saw a vision which contained a message for him. It acted as a spiritual stimulant to him, and the words were, so he received the words. What were the words? Tune the sitar, low or high, the string overstretched breaks, and the music dies. The string overslack is dumb, and the music dies. So he thought to himself, I too have tortured my body to starvation. Starvation means when you are not eating anything. Now see, your willpower, that is your strong determination, and then and he was able to see that vision, that something which is seen in the dream and which conveys some truth or knowledge. So in his vision he was able to what, he was able to receive that message, and the message was like a stimulant. Why stimulant? Because it is a kind of a thing that will motivate you or will encourage you. So here we find the message given was that starvation, that is, if you will not eat anything, if you suffer from lack of food, it is not going to help you. I have taken to extremes. Let me follow now here he was trying to think, and he thought that instead of making my body starve for so much of long, and after all I'm not going to get also anything. So instead of that, why not to follow the middle path? When he tried to get up to take a bath, now see, when he tried to take a bath in the river, he found that he had become so weak that he could not rise. That means after bathing in the river, after bathing in the river, he was not able to get up also. Just then a beautiful girl named Sujata appeared before him carrying a golden bowl filled with the sweetened milk and the rice. And when she saw a weakened ascetic, now see, one who abstains oneself from the pleasure and the luxury, so she saw that really this man is very very weak, and so she offered as you can see here, she offered a bowl at his feet. Lord, please accept my offering of milk and rice. Buddha accepted her offering, and this was the first meal after many days of starvation. It refreshed him and infused a new strength in him. He realized that making the body suffer was not a way to enlightenment and truth. Gautama had longed for enlightenment, and that night he found the answer to his query, what is the cause of sorrow? The cause of sorrow is the desire, and the cure for sorrow is to giving up all the desires and adopt right living. Now, born under a tree, Buddha received illumination also under a tree, and to this day we venerate this tree as a Bodhi tree. And from that day onwards, we deeply respect that tree as a Bodhi tree. So here we find the story of the Gautama's quest, that is the search for the Gautamas, that is he wanted to search something, that is what is the cause of the this one sorrow in your life, because early when he was born in an affluent family, he was a king, he had all what he wanted, but ultimately he wanted to find out something, that what was the cause of the sorrow and what was the reason for the impermanence of the world. So here we find that though he had magnificent palaces and whatever he wanted he had in his life, but then also he had that quest, he had the search in a life, that I want to find out the answers for all the sorrows. So I hope you all have understood this story very well, and if you like my educational video, children, kindly like it and subscribe it. Thank you children, and God bless you all.